Hey guys. Hey. What happened to my beautiful filter here? Oh, it did work. Hey. Good morning. Oh, let me turn on my camera for YouTube. There we go. Wow, not as smooth as last week. Not as smooth as last week, guys. How is everyone? I'm going to give you a couple of seconds to find me. Hopefully somebody joins me today because today's topic is crazy. It is crazy. Whew, crazy, crazy. All right. Thank you, Jesus, for another amazing hour I get to spend with my beautiful creative friends. Lord, you know our wants, you know our needs, and you have all the power. May we just grab like a tenth of your grace and your love, and I swear this world will be just a better place. Please give us strength to endure and to process the crazy world that is today, and may we find you, may we love you, and may we love all of your children. In Jesus' name, amen. You guys, crazy week this week. So if you are joining me on Instagram, up top, Instagram and Rumble, down bottom is YouTube. I'm going to come down a minute. So my title today is a little salty, but it was a salty week. Coming off of my canceled Disney Plus last week with Gina Carano. It's just gotten like progressively worse. So started off with Rush Limbaugh passed away this week, and Carmen, two guys that John grew up watching and listening to. So Rush and Carmen. And when Rush passed, did you guys happen to catch Twitter? I'm not on Twitter. I mean, my account's on Twitter, but I'm not active on Twitter. I don't engage with the tweets. Hey, Alan, thanks for joining. I don't engage with the tweets. The title for this week, Ellen, is They Really Do Not Value Life. And I'm going to go all in it. Like, they really do not value life. And who is this they? Well, I'm sure you'll find out shortly. So Rush Limbaugh passed, and they're dancing on his grave, like dancing, celebrating. I don't know any human being that celebrates another human being's death. I've known serial killers and like complete psychopaths that lose their life and people aren't dancing on their graves. It's insane. It's insane. Like I can't fathom it, right? And I'm not into it. Yeah, neither am I. But they're just like insane. Good morning, Katie. Yeah, so Rush passed. I'm just gonna get you caught up. Rush Limbaugh passed, and they're dancing on his grave. Like everybody from the left is dancing on his grave, and it's just insane. Well, I don't want to exaggerate with everybody. I'm hoping there are a few lefties that aren't celebrating a human being's death. But like I said, I've known psychopaths. I know like serial killers. Like I know mass murderers that people don't dance on their grave, but yet somebody sharing their thoughts and opinions, dancing on their grave. And it just blew my mind. I'm like, I don't understand human beings. And then furthermore, I found out last night that, do you guys watch Star Trek? So Deanna Troi from The Next Generation, Mirror, I don't know her real name, something with an S. She tweeted or something about Texas that they deserve what they got. So the state of Texas, who is supposed to be Republican, I'm assuming these lefties are saying they deserve what they get. And then Bette Midler, the famous singer back in the days, tweeted that Texas deserved what they got because of Senator Ted Cruz. And I'm just like, what is wrong with human beings? Like, what is wrong with human beings? I don't understand these people. So my title is They Really Do Not Value Life. And we're trying to figure out who this they are, right? So then yesterday I'm on Instagram and something passes my feed, and there are TikTok accounts. I'm not on TikTok either. There are TikTok accounts that are that have these women, young ladies. They look like they're in their teens and 20s, young. They're celebrating getting abortion. And like celebrating, like I shared in my Instagram stories. There's a collection of them. I'm sure there's a lot more. This was just proving a point that they make these TikTok videos celebrating that they're sitting in the stirrups and they're sitting in their gowns. They're sitting in their stirrups and they're sitting in their gowns in the hospital room or the big Planned Parenthood, I'm assuming, celebrating that they are about to get an abortion or just got an abortion. And I'm like, what? Hey, Wendelin, ooh, so glad you're joining. And it's just blowing my mind. Like, my mind is honestly blown. It's honestly blown. And then, and it really hits me. I'm like, this is why they don't value life. They will always struggle. So celebrating any kind of loss of life is horrifying. It really is. I'm like, my mind is blown. Like, there are real accounts, like there are real human beings that go through. I don't know anybody that can go through. I'm like, for whatever reason, whenever I talk about this case, I'm never talking about the one person. I'm talking about the generational genocide by the stroke of a magical pen. I want it gone. I want it over with. I'm an abolitionist. I want the ending of, permitting the fact that you can allow it is just wrong. By the stroke of a magical pen, we say the law of the land is it's okay to kill your own. Like, that's just, to me, that is the most, is asinine. Is that a curse word, guys? It is the most insane thing that we are doing. And because we don't value life at every stage, we will always struggle to value life at any stage. They're against the death penalty They are against the death penalty and they celebrate abortion. Is that what you're telling me? I didn't. Who is against the death penalty? I didn't realize that the left was against the death penalty. But yeah, it's like when they, like how they, my last week's episode about Gina Carano, like, now I'm getting real life people coming to me and going, are you really not watching The Mandalorian anymore? Are you really, are you really not like supporting Disney? I'm like, yeah. I told my husband, I'm like, I'm never paying for another movie. I'm never going to the movies and giving them my money. Again, I will only support indie small business. Like, I'm never gonna, if I know it, I won't outright do it. Like, I can't. This is just, and I'm not saying I'm gonna like fully like, there are things that we can't like avoid. There are, cancel culture has gotten to the point where like, they're like out to end their lives. They're out to end their livelihoods. Like, they want them fired. They don't want them to ever make money. They want everybody to suffer. Like, you see, you can't even, in our yarn world, they're coming after our followers. Like, they're coming after the people that not just follow us, just like a post of ours. They look at your post and And if there's a list of people that like you, and if they can find them, they'll hunt those people that like your one post, and they'll like attack them and yell at them and say, do you know this person is racist? Do you know this person is a homophobe? Do you like, they're actually human beings that do that. It blows my mind. I don't consider a curse word, but I won't lie. Sometimes a curse was the only way to describe some things. I know, Katie, I know. When I enter a world of like insane, when I enter a world of insanity, I don't know where else to go either. But yeah, I know. But it is. I think watching somebody celebrate somebody's death is just, to me, it's horrible. Like I said, there are mass murderers that lose their lives that people don't dance over their graves. I mean, actually, they celebrate Mao, who is like the most, he's probably the most with his communist policies. He's ended more Chinese lives than anything. Speaking of Chinese, you guys did see my last video that I made. I went live impromptu over last week. And the video is up on Instagram and on Rumble and on YouTube. And it's called Don't Fall for Their Narrative. Like, don't fall for their narrative. So the new narrative is that the Asians are being discriminated against, and they're being attacked, and that and Asians are good, white people are bad. Speaking of white people, did you see CocaCola? Did you see CocaCola? I'm assuming CocaCola, the other big beast, one of the other big beasts, probably Disney's like little sister, little brother. CocaCola, the company, I believe they have their employee like to tell them to diminish their whiteness, to not be so white. And they did a study where they asked like 3 or 4-year-olds, if the 3 or 4-year-olds like knew that their white was like superior. And I'm like, I'm sorry, a 3 or 4-year-old that thinks they're better than another human being because they're white is the stupidest thing. I heard about all that. What is whiteness? Exactly, Wendy. What is whiteness? Let's start there. Let's just start there. What is whiteness? Getting up in the morning? What? Going to bed at night? What? Putting on a shirt? Is that whiteness? Is stepping up? Like, do you know any human beings that go like, here's the thing. I get up in the morning, right? Good or bad, I get up in the morning. I get showered. I get cleaned up. I once in a while I'll comb my hair. Sometimes I won't. I wear clothes. I will step out. I go to work. I barely trip into work. And then I come home. I kiss my husband. I hug my babies, my little fur babies. And that's my life. And sometimes I come on here and I chat with my friends. Sometimes I scroll through Instagram and I say hi to a few of my friends there. Is that whiteness? Is whiteness getting a job? Or is whiteness going to work and making money? Is whiteness like having food in your stomach? Is whiteness stepping out with freedom and free air? Is whiteness opening a fridge? Is whiteness turning on my thermostat because I paid for my utility bills? What's whiteness, guys? On the phone, people thought I was white. Oh, you guys, I forgot I could do this. On the phone, people thought I was white when they came in the office to look on their face. That's hysterical. I saw the CocaCola screenshots, and they did have criteria for what whiteness is, and what being less white means. Oh, they do, Amelia? They have an actual criteria of what being less white means. I've got to research that. All I can say is thank God I don't work for CocaCola. And it's a good thing I don't drink soda anymore because I don't. At least I know financially I'm not outright supporting Coca-Cola and that nonsense. Oh, critical race theory. People love their race goggles. This addiction to race goggles is going to be I wonder if this addiction to race goggles is going to be harder than me abolishing generational genocide by the stroke of a magical pen. And we know that's nearly impossible. Only the grace of God, only by the grace of God can we undo generational genocide by the stroke of a magical pen. But race goggles, like, not everybody had them. Not everybody owned them. I feel like if I can get up here and give it my, my Asian all here, that I can get people to refuse to wear their race goggles. But it is deep embedded. It's deeply embedded. Yeah, I'll see if I can find it because I can't remember what it was so insane. Oh, you found it? You found it? Can you put the link in the comment, and then I'm gonna see if I can click it and share the screen. Let's see if I can get all fancy like that so we could really see. Let's delve into this because and it really does add to my topic because I really didn't want to get into race goggles, but I think race goggles will always seep into every single video anymore. It really will. Because everybody loves it and they can exploit it. Like I said, how the Asians are being discriminated right now. So they take a bunch of videos, like 4 or 5 of them, and they show them being pushed and attacked randomly. Like somehow people are magically standing around with cameras watching an innocent human being being attacked on the street. And then you write a narrative like, sign your petition and say, stop the crimes against race, stop the crimes against Asians, stop this discriminating against Asians because it's horrible, it's bad. And who's doing it? Who's doing the violations? It's not Asian on Asian, right? Because we saw how BLM won't ever show black on black crime. They will only show white on black crime. That's the only crime that counts. Because they love their race goggles, So I think we can't so if you can put that link in the comment, I'm going to see if I can click on it and share it with everybody. But yeah, Coca-Cola is telling their employees that to be less white. So I just want to know what white is because I feel like I'm living a pretty white life if that's what they want me to be, unless I'm not white enough, in which I'm really going to strive to be white enough. Because I really enjoyed last year for a couple months being privileged like the whites. Because remember Harvard was saying, Asians aren't marginalized human beings. We're practically the same as whites. We're practically privileged and all. And I was really celebrating that for a split second. But now Biden tells us that we're being discriminated against and we're marginalized again. I'm trying to figure out what less white even means. I know. That's what we're trying to figure out. What's less white all about? Is the whites, like those TikTok videos of those teenagers celebrating that they just got abortions? They're literally dancing because they're in their stirrups and in their hospital gown that they just, and then one was saying how with a snap of a finger, she went from old drumpy, getting pregnant, just found out she's pregnant to snapping her finger. She's in this party dress and she's like, I just got an abortion. I'm in my party dress now. That's in my stories on Instagram if you're up there. If we do not value life at every stage, we will always struggle to value life at any stage. And we're living proof of it right now. We have people celebrating abortions. We have people celebrating people's deaths. because just because you don't agree with Rush Limbaugh, people are dancing on his grave now, celebrating his death and saying good riddance and may he rot in hell. And it's just like, wow. I was like, I knew mass murderers and psychopathic serial killers that died that people weren't dancing over their graves. It's blowing my mind. And then you have these Hollywood stars like Bette Midler and Deanna Troy from, I can't think of her real name, Mira Sir something. I don't know. Never learned her real name, but Deanna Troy from the Next Generation Star Trek going on saying that Texas deserves what they got. There are people that died over that tragedy, and it's their wind. Aren't they the ones for wind energy? Like, it's just insane that they're celebrating because of a policy, because of a senator, because they don't like Senator Cruz, or they don't like the state of Texas being a red state. Like, they're actually saying they deserve it. Like, what is wrong with human beings? What is wrong with people? What is wrong with people? I cannot fathom it. Oh, Lord, give me the grace of God. God. The devil has their soul. We have to pray for them. Yes, Wendy, we have to pray for them. You know who I wanted to, let me see if I can do this. Hang out with me. If you're up top on Instagram, you won't be able to see this, but if you come down to YouTube, you can see this. I'm going to try to see if I can get on my Instagram. Oh, actually, you're on Instagram. I'm going to see if I can get on my Instagram because I want to share while we wait for what's her name to show us how Coca-Cola tells us to be less white. Because God forbid, I don't want to violate anybody's, any race goggle laws there. My stories. Can I see my stories? I can. Okay, cool. I can see the post. Okay. Let's see if I've never done this before, so let's hang out with me for 2 seconds, guys. Remember, they have no regard for human life, not surprised by the hatefulness. Yeah, they have no regard. This is what happens when you say it's okay to murder your own by the stroke of a magical pen. When they fight for that evil, this is the repercussions. Now all of a sudden, they dance on people's graves. They when they see tragedy, and the funny thing is the backlash of them, because there are people, not everybody in the state of Texas voted for red. Not everybody in the state of Texas wears MAGA hats. Not everybody in the state of Texas is like this utopia of red that they see. There are people that actually are blue in that state, like they're, you know what I mean? So they're going to lump them all in. There are people that suffered, that voted for Biden. There are people that did that. But they don't care. They'll just lump it all up and they deserve it, It's just nuts. I don't know if it shows in the chat, but I posted the link. Okay. Oh, you did? And I don't see it in the chat. That's so crazy. So you have to copy and paste. Yeah, I don't even see it. Did I miss it? No, I don't see it in this chat. Try it again, Amelia. Let me just see. Orange Man bad is the worst thing to some folks and anyone who support it. They're just so messed up. But like I said, they're celebrating abortions. Relativism. Yeah, people are under a spell. They're under the spell of a lifetime. Okay, let me see. I'm going to share my screen. Let me see. Let's see if it works. Share my screen. And then, can you guys see that on YouTube? Let me see. Oh, wait. Share my screen. YouTube, can you tell me if you're seeing my screen right now? I just want to make sure. I have to click back to find out. All right, can you guys see my screen? Oh, there we go. I see it now. All right. So YouTube should be able to see my screen. Okay. You can see my screen, right? Wait. Do I move? Okay, it's sharing my screen. Okay. You see this? 5 pro-life leaders you should know about, because it's Black History Month. It's February. So let's put our race goggles on for a minute, because everybody loves them. I don't wear them all the time, but because of last year's BLM, I now am forced to wear them because they tell me I can't be colorblind anymore. So I have to put them on, but I don't keep it on too much because it makes me dizzy. It really does. It makes me dizzy. But here we go. Live action work. We are grateful to celebrate these 5 courageous pro-life leaders who have paved the way in the fight to protect our babies. We stand on the shoulders of giants. Spread this post, which I did. So let's see how do we share the next screen? Oh, there we go. First person. Laverne Tolbert. So go look her up, guys. Go look up Laverne Tolbert, former board member of Planned Parenthood, who now opposes their agenda because she woke up. And if you don't know Planned Parenthood's agenda, the founder of Planned Parenthood, Margaret Sanger, wrote in her manifesto, we're creating Planned Parenthood. We're going to create a place to exterminate the Negro population. That's her agenda. So Laverne Tolbert found out what Planned Parenthood's agenda is, and she opposes it now. So go look her up. We're celebrating Black History Month right now. Fannie Lou Hamer, civil rights activist who was also a victim of a eugenic sterilization, a program which Planned Parenthood's founder advocated for, Margaret Sanger. In 1969, an article published by the Freelance Star quotes Hamer as denouncing voluntary abortion as legalized murder, saying she made it clear that she regards in it part of a comprehensive white man's plot to exterminate the Black population of the United States. She figured that out, but Margaret Sanger did put it in her manifesto, so that is confirmed. So let's look her up. Fannie Lou Hamer. Go share, you guys. This is Black History Month, so go share these people. The fighter for this post is on my stories, by the way, on Instagram. The fighter for right to life, a fighter for right to life. Nation's strongest anti-abortion group is headed by a Black doctor from Boston, Dr. Mildred Jefferson. Let's celebrate her life. According to Ebony magazine, one reason for Dr. Jefferson's alignment with the anti-abortion movement is her belief that this country's 1 million annual abortions can mean genocide for Black Americans. Now, this woman's a smart woman. But in 2020, we're up to 70 million. So we aborted 70 million last year. Remember, 10 million in the first 3 months from January to... I wonder how many Black Americans were in that genocide. 1 million annual abortions. Unfortunately, Dr. Mildred Jefferson, that number has grown exponentially, yearly. Exponentially, yearly. Samuel Yeat. I don't know. Samuel Yeat. The choice is the article, the issue of Black survival in America by Samuel F. Yeat. I hope I'm saying it right. Wrote a book documenting high-level plans within the U.S. to use birth control and abortion as genocide against the African Americans. Yes, the African Americans. BLM donates billions of dollars. Black Lives Matter donates billions of dollars to this organization, to this company, Planned Parenthood, that use birth control and abortion as genocide against the African Americans. That's why they created Planned Parenthood. And yet, I am the white supremacist, right? I'm the one not protecting African American lives. I'm the one that doesn't value, I'm the one that's saying Black lives do not matter, right? That's according to them, their words. Crazy. These people are cuckoo. He says, given the history of the genocidal practices and public policies impacted on Black people in the society, it is barely believable that any significant number of Black people at all could condone, much less demand, public policies and financing the destruction of human life on either side of the womb. Yeat in 1985. Wow. Nobody talks about these people, do they? They don't celebrate these people. You know. Professor Norman Rice, Fordham professor Norman Rice perhaps said it best in 1969 when he was quoted saying, "The idea seems to be to eliminate poverty by eliminating the poor. Of course, this is a form of genocide, perhaps more appropriately called poricide." Abortion law advocate in Poricide warning. Wow, that was the title. Poricide. Interesting. Interesting. That's just fascinating to me. All right, let me go back. Let me remove my shared screen. Did that work out? Did that successfully? You can't see? No, you couldn't see the screen? Could you see it then? Let me know at the end. Were you able to see it at the end? I know it took me a couple of tries, but I just need to see. Okay, you didn't see. Let me know if you ended up seeing that. So I want to be able to do that more, but I have to successfully share that screen before I continue on. I know in the beginning you couldn't see it, but did you eventually? Were you able to see it? The criteria is be less oppressive, be less arrogant. Yeah, you were able to see it. Oh, good, Amelia. That's good. So once I figured out how to do it successfully, I'll be able to share that better. Okay, the criteria is be less oppressive. This is CocaCola's criteria, by the way, to be less white. Be less oppressive, be less arrogant, be less certain, be less certain, be less ignorant, be less ignorant, be more humble, listen, believe, break with apathy, and break with white solidarity. OMG. I am a white supremacist. If these are the criterias, well, I'm not oppressive, and I'm not arrogant, but arrogant is in the eyes of the beholder because is relative. Because if you're confident, are you arrogant? See, if you're confident and somebody is not confident, they'll look at me and they'll call me arrogant, right? So that's subjective. But then again, all this less whiteness and more whiteness is pretty much subjective. Well, let's look into it. Be less certain. Oh, I'm pretty much always certain, which really puts me in a bad scenario. Listen, I read a lot. I learn a lot. I listen to a lot of audiobooks. I'm constantly in the business of self-improvement. So I am always, listening to audiobooks, listening to podcasts, reading books. I could show you my library of self-improvement. So I definitely live in a confident, certain life. And be less ignorant. No, I'm definitely not ignorant. I learn a lot. I know a lot more than I speak of, as confident and as arrogant as I can be. But this one kind of hits home because be more humble. There was a year where, they have New Year's resolutions. And one of my New Year's resolutions back in the day, I think in my 20s, I'm hopping over to YouTube Live. Yeah, come on over here. That's where you can see the stuff, right? The engagement is down there too. But I'm not sparkly and beautiful like I am on Instagram because the filter is up there, not in YouTube. YouTube is reality, unfortunately. There was one year, I am such a confident human being. which could be construed as arrogant if you're not confident, right? Because that's relative. But there was a year where I actually, my New Year's resolution was to be more humble. And like all resolutions, humility went out the window like around January 31st. And actually, I was quite proud that I actually lasted that long, that I actually lasted the month of January, I would think. I think it was February when I went down. Humble. So I guess in that criteria, I'm going to need to be more humble, listen better. I think I'm a 50-50 on listening. Believe, break with apathy. What does that mean? Believe, break with apathy. Is apathy the videos of them dancing and celebrating that they're in the abortion clinic, that they're just gave an abortion? Is that apathy? You know what I mean? Are those people? So it sounds to me like the power to end human life is like, is that like a white supremacy act, because you have power to end a human life. So is like people like Bette Midler celebrating, so she's like a white supremacist too, and people like Deanna Troy celebrating the tragedy of what happened with Texas, are they like white supremacy? Are anybody that had an abortion celebrating, are they all white supremacists? That seems like that's now, mind you, we just went through Instagram, how many people have abortions, and if you look at the statistics of all those people that aborted and went through Planned Parenthood, their color is not white. It is in the African American neighborhoods. They have the number one. They are proportionally the higher number to abort, to end their children's lives. So are they all white supremacists? Because they have the power to end a human life. I think that's like the ultimate act of white supremacy. I wonder if we can do that. Can we do that? Anybody that promotes and celebrates Planned Parenthood in their generational genocide are all acting in white supremacy according to CocaCola's criteria. What do you think? Be less certain, just so to mix up the CC formula any old way. Be less certain, I know. I'm less ignorant. 4 minus 4 equals 4. I'm less ignorant. I love that one. So are those girls celebrating abortion, displaying whiteness? That's what I was saying, Wendelin. I believe they are displaying whiteness. I believe all those ladies on TikTok that are celebrating their abortion are displaying their whiteness now. And they need to be sent to re-education camp. Exactly. And you know who else is going to end up following suit? Because the number one race that aborts are the Black Lives That Matter. They are the number one race that aborts. That's facts. I know people don't like facts. Facts hurts people's feelings, but they don't like facts. So they are all, every single one of them, who have aborted and support aborting, ending human life, they are all practicing whiteness and celebrating whiteness, and they need to be re-educated, I believe. Is that the right term they like to use, these SJWs? Wow. Crazy. This is why I pray so much, guys. This is why I pray so much. The world is bananas. That's it. I got to come up with something. So BLM are white supremacy. Just using their logic. Yes, they are. Oh, they absolutely are. When do you remember the picture of being on the streets, like all of last year with the riots and the looting and the going up to and the bullying of elderly people, going up to them, making them raise their hand in solidarity to celebrate BLM. Remember them cornering that lady at the restaurant, making her raise up her hand, and she refused to raise up her hand because the mob was pressuring her to raise her hand to celebrate Black Lives Matter. Do you remember that? That's practicing white supremacy. When you're bullying a mob to do something, whether they believe it or not, that's coercing somebody to do something that they don't want to do. I'm sorry. I'm going to be dead honest with you. If a mob comes after me telling me to raise my hand and I don't want to raise my hand, I don't care if the cause is good or bad, because you've told me to, and because it goes against my natural instinct to be like, my right, my life, my choosing, I'm not going to do it. And that's my right to. That's my right to not do it, not support and go with mob. I should be like, if they force me, I'm going to be like, no, I don't want to practice white supremacy. I can't be celebrating with you. I can't raise my hand in solidarity because, to me, it sounds like if you're confident and you're not humble, and if you're, according to Coca-Cola's, be less oppressive and be less arrogant, be less certain, and be less ignorant. Be more humble. Listen, believe, break with apathy, break with white solidarity. And what does that break with white solidarity? Don't you mean break from white solidarity? Should be like, what are you talking about, Coca-Cola? Break with white solidarity. If you're going to break with white solidarity, aren't you like taking a break with, like, breaking with it? Don't you mean for it, Coca-Cola? Or break from it, not for it. That's wrong too. Rights. What is that? Rights. Oh, yes. We can go on to there. What are our rights? Oh, freedom of speech. It's a fascist tactic. Oh, yes, it is. Yes, it is, Elizabeth. The mob mentality is a fascist tactic. These same people that have been calling the last president, the last 4 years, fascists and Nazis, those same people. They're the ones that are demanding that Gina Carano be fired because she warned people of what our world is turning into. Let me see. The women that woman said she was even a supporter of BLM, but she wasn't going to be forced to do anything. Exactly. Oh, really? That's interesting. So that same lady I keep referencing, she is a supporter of BLM, but she wasn't going to be forced to doing anything. Exactly. I would be the same way. I'd be like, I don't care if I support it. You're not going to make me do something, you know what I mean, to do anything. If I'm sitting at a restaurant trying to mind my own business, chilling out, hanging out with family or friends, because I'm rarely by myself at a restaurant, so I'm assuming there's going to be somebody there with me, and they want me to raise my hand as mob rule, I'm going to be like, I don't care what I'm raising my hand for. I'm going to say no. I want to eat. I want to chill with who I'm hanging out with. And I'm not going to let some random strangers, I don't care how many number of them they are, make me bend at the knee and raise my hand up to something. Because the last time I saw that picture, 6 million humans got executed. How did a single man get 6 million humans to execute? To get an entire nation to execute 6 million human beings? How did a single man get an entire nation to execute 6 million humans? That's how. Coercion. Propaganda. They forced it. They capitalized on their fear to stand out. They wanted them to be humble. Oh, yeah, look at that. Humbling. That sounds like, yeah, they wanted, yeah. They permitted that. I'm going to have to really think really hard about this because I really need to, if we go down this path of wearing our race goggles and wearing our race goggles and having companies like Coca-Cola and all these other companies. That's why they're like promoting diversity, diversity, diversity. You know, we have to have diversity representation. Like if you go into a room and they're like, let me ask you guys, do you guys walk into a room and do you count like the number of Asians are in the room? Do you count the number of blacks are in the room? Do you count the number of whites? Do you count the number of male to female? Do you count all that? Like, are you guys taking inventory of that when you enter a room? Because normal people don't do that. Normal people do not do that. This is the problem when you isolate and section off people, because when you divide people by groups and by things, you see parts of humans. Seeing parts of humans means that they only see parts of humanity, and then they get dissected. And that's what makes it, nobody looks at humans as humans anymore, because they look at the parts of the humans. And when you're looking at parts of humans, that's how they destroy it. Lack of God in their life. Oh, a big lack of God in their life. But not only is there a lack of God in their life, but they're actually celebrating the enemy themselves. They are praising the enemy himself. But I guess when you leave God out of your life, that leaves you room for the enemy. I just sent you a post about a Satanist group in Texas that commissioned a 40-feet abortion saves lives billboard. Wow. There's a Satanist group in Texas that commissioned a 40-feet billboard that says abortion saves lives. This is what happens when we as human beings let a group of people tell us that 1 + 1 = 5. When we know what's right and we know what's true, and they, as mob mentality, tell you completely different, and we're supposed to believe it because the mass says it. Abortion saves lives. Yeah. Because ending life saves lives. That makes so much sense. That's definitely bad math. That's definitely bad math. That's a 40-foot bad math billboard. And happened in Texas. You know, the same state that that these leftists, you know, these Hollywood leftists are celebrating that they deserve what they get. Like Bette Midler and all those people, like they're tweeting that Texas deserves what they got. Didn't they realize that there are actually people living in there that believe what they believe? Thank you, Elizabeth. I will definitely look into that. I hopped over from Insta. Hey, Jordan, basket full of yarn. Oh, over there. Oh, thank you. Jordan, that's a beautiful name. Is that French? Yeah, because murder now means they won't murder later. Yeah. Murder now means they won't murder later. Of course, that's what that means. Crazy. There was somebody that followed, like they were supporting me because I was standing up for Gina Carano last week. And then at the end of it, they're like, oh, you're for you're an abolitionist and you're for bringing babies and unwanted babies into the world. Bye. And they left me, and they're like, oh, okay. I'm like, there are real people that actually, like, they really do celebrate that. They really do celebrate. That's just bad math. You need a shirt that says that's just bad math. Yep. I definitely do need that, Kate. I definitely do need that. Because I see so much bad math anymore. That is just bad math. I see so much bad math. And that I think is the epitome of bad math right there. Just like BLM funding Planned Parenthood, billions of dollars is bad math to me. Because BLM, Black Lives Matter, the organization that tells me that Black Lives Matter, gives billions of dollars to a manufacturing business, a baby killing manufacturing business that kills Black babies. That's bad math. That is bad math. The same bad math that abortion saves lives. Same bad math. And I'm the one that's like, you know what I mean? I'm the white supremacist. When I'm like, no, I'm telling you, stop killing Black babies. Stop killing Black babies. Black babies die more and more and more and more and more. More. Way more than COVID. Way more than the coof. Way more than the riots. Way more than the police. In crazy world. Oh, thank you for joining me over here. Hi, Elizabeth. Thank you. I have to find you. If I'm not following you, I'm going to follow you. I don't follow people back to follow, if you're wondering. So if you guys want to actually have a full conversation with me, then DM me, because when I talk to human beings, then I follow the human beings. But I rarely follow private accounts, because I don't know, unless I'm actually talking to that private person, because I like to engage with humans. I'm not about a follow to follow philosophy, if you guys are wondering why. If I don't follow you back and you want me to, then talk to me, and then I'll know who you are, and then I will follow you back if I'm not following you. But I definitely want to follow you, Elizabeth, because that's crazy. The leftists are so mad when people are criticizing blue states during the thick of the pandemic, and now they're saying that Texans deserve what they get for being a red state. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy town. It's crazy town. Amelia, it's crazy town. I can't. But then again, like I said, I just shared in my stories, women that are celebrating themselves in nightgowns or in hospital gowns with in stirrups, aborting. They're celebrating it. They're sitting there, turning on their camera and dancing. There was a crazy person dancing. No, I'm not saying that the general masses are like that. There are women that literally pray hard. Like there are people. I'm not saying that all people who abort are crazy, you know what I mean, that are celebrating it and then turning their camera on and sharing it with the world that they got to abort. Like, I'm not saying that everybody who aborts are that crazy. There are real people that prayed long and hard over it, that had multiple conversations with their doctors, multiple conversations with their husbands, multiple conversations with their parents, and then they prayed long and hard. There are people that have made that decision, be it whatever reason, that made it reluctantly, made it with full thought, knowing that they are doing wrong, and hating it all the way through, hating their decision all the way through, regretting it afterwards. There are people that are like that. And so I'm not negating that they're that anybody that ends human lives, you know what I mean, are celebrating. I'm not saying that. Because there are people that regret it afterwards. There are people that do it and still, or even knowing that they hated what they did, but they know it was for the better of their family or whatever, whatever the decision. There are people that are not celebrating that. So, but today's conversation is all about the crazies that are celebrating it. And that's the part that I want to talk about. So I'm not talking about those people. Those people I'm praying for. I'm praying for everybody. I'm praying for everybody. But what I cannot grasp is this culture that we are now living in. This is the culture. This culture we are now living in. Because we didn't have social media. We didn't have it back then. We used to have newspapers that reported the number. That's these people that I shared. These people that are celebrating. Like these guys, these activists back in the day. that opposed it. They didn't have social media where they were fighting and they're celebrating, these wonderful, beautiful people. Since we're celebrating Black Lives, this is Black History Month. These are the Black history people that you want to study from history. These are the people that you want to learn about. Okay. That media will not teach you. That's what I'm talking about. The media will not tell you about these people. They will not. Media will not celebrate these people, their history. They will not. Because it's a narrative. They're telling you a narrative. Everything that's coming out of your television, they tell you the vision they want you to see. So do not trust what you see on camera. And don't even just trust people like me who are out here. Do your own research. The reason why I watch more now, I watch all YouTubers. Like I don't even watch, I don't even watch TV anymore. And when I watch a movie, I take it with a grain of salt because I know they're telling me a narrative. It's a story, right? But the reason why I'm like so gravitated towards YouTubers is because they're real people. They did they're their opinions. They did their own research. And if somebody tells me an idea, I'll go and do my own research. Like that's how I learned about the CocaCola and being whiteness. That's how I learned about all the, what happened with Gina Carano, how she was being bullied online, that they were going after her because she refused to put a pronoun in her Twitter bio. That's how it all started. She got on the leftist radar because they wanted her to put a she and a her next to her name. I'm sorry, you guys. If social media comes after me, you know how like my name says Vone Kevitz on my name, and right after it I have in parentheses pro-human. The reason why I finally got to say pro-human is because I was tired of the pro-life, pro-choice people, and I'm just pro-human. I fight for humanity, for human lives, and that's all lives. That's all lives. Now, I know people want to tell me that all lives is not the most inclusive word in the English language. The word all is not including, because all lives can't matter until Black lives matter. Well, I'm sorry. They're lying to you. That's bad math. That's another bad math alert. All lives matter. All lives cannot matter until Black lives matter is one of the biggest bad maths ever, because all is the most inclusive word in the English language. So yeah, that's more bad math. I'm definitely getting a shirt that says bad math. That's, me. If you follow my Instagram, I'm always pointing out bad math. That's like my radar. I'm Asian, guys. I know math. If you didn't know I was Asian, I know my math. It's so sad that Planned Parenthood helps hide rapes, pedophile, and incest. Yes, they do. Yes, they do, Angela. And they are certainly not going to be trusted. They are certainly not to be trusted just because they have a slogan that doesn't tell what they actually do. Oh, yes, that's so true. Because people are smart. The majority of people are smart. There are some crazies that are not. But that's why we're here. We're here so that we can, help educate people. They love to educate. So I'm here to help educate. And that people believe that Planned Parenthood says what Planned Parenthood says to the public. Yeah, there are people that praise it. We need more Ginas. Elizabeth, we need so many more Ginas right now. We need so many more Ginas. That's why I gave up Baby Yoda last week. If you're wondering, like, do I think I'm going to stop Disney? No. Do I think my one cancellation of a subscription is going to stop Disney? No. I don't think, me refusing to go pay for another Marvel movie because it's owned by Disney. No, that is not it. What I'm telling you is I love Baby Yoda. I love Baby Yoda. I love The Mandalorian. I have it on like as white noise in the background. I put it on when I'm sick and laying in bed. I put it on when I go to bed so you can just hear the noise. Like I love Baby Yoda. That's how I love that show. And because I saw what they did to her, the only way I can stand up and you know what I mean, and help fight that is by refusing to support a company that doesn't support free speech. Because if we don't have free speech, we're done. If I cannot speak truth like this and point out all the bad math of the world, You know what I mean? God only knows what this world is going to turn into. Next year we'll execute 140 million human lives by the generational genocide by the stroke of a magical pen. We'll just keep ending more lives. I refuse to put pronouns in my bio. It's not even something I'm necessarily doing against doing, but I'm against being forced to do it. And more people are being bullied into it. I think it is the craziest and the stupidest thing I have ever heard in my entire life. It is the craziest and most stupid thing in my entire life. If somebody wants to come to me and bully me to make me put a he, a she, and a her next to my bio so that I can let you know what pronoun I identify with. Oh, that is, I can't, I'm 42 years old. I cannot, the older I get, the more and more I realize what my number one pet peeve is, or at least my last year, 2020 was my biggest pet peeve of last year was stupidity. I can't stand stupid people. I can't stand stupidity. I don't have tolerance for it. I pray for grace. I pray for understanding. See, this is why I think this must be my whiteness according to CocaCola's criteria, because I can't stand stupidity. And if you want to pressure me to put a pronoun next to my bio so that I can let you know what I identify with, what pronoun I identify with, I'm going to call you stupid. And I'm going to say that's stupid. And for anybody that is doing that, like the Mandalorian actor himself, Pedro Pascal, when I saw that, I was like, what the freak? He actually has Pedro Pascal, he and him, he/him in his bio. That's prime real estate, guys. That's prime real estate. That's and you're gonna let somebody force you to do that? It's crazy. It's so sad, Angela. Who did I miss? Oh, yeah, the lies that Planned Parenthood is. Yeah. And they know abusers are making the women abort. Oh, absolutely. They do know all that. They know all that. They can see it, but they don't care. They want the money. There's big money in ending human lives. There's big money in it. That, if you want to celebrate, yeah, Planned Parenthood is the most white supremacist organization out there. And BLM donates billions of dollars to Planned Parenthood. That's it. There's my next thing. The most white supremacist organization right now, more than KKK, more than the KKK, is Planned Parenthood. Planned Parenthood ends Black lives, has executed Black human lives in 1 week than the KKK did their entire existence. In 1 week, Planned Parenthood executes Black lives more than the KKK their entire existence. And BLM funds them billions of dollars. So the most white supremacist organization out there is being funded by another big organization that seems to be running the world right now, BLM, because they ran it all of last year into this year. Because people love their race goggles. People are obsessed with their race goggles. They're going to fall for whatever lie that BLM spews at them. And they're funding the most white supremacist organization out there, and that is Planned Parenthood. Holy crackerjacks. Thank you, guys. This is why I like talking with you guys. You guys make me smarter. As if. I told you I didn't have a confident problem. I do need to work on humility. I don't want to be too white, guys. I don't want to be too white, according to CocaCola. When I see pronouns in a bio, it makes me not want to follow them at all. Yeah, I think it's safe to say that if I ever see a pronoun in a bio, I will not be following that human being. It is pretty much safe to say. I like to engage with smart, thoughtful humans. Like I like hanging out with people that will make me grow and make me better. That's just my criteria. That's how I live life. Like I'm if you don't meet that criteria of being smart and engaging and kind and loving and all the wonderful things that's going to make me better, then you don't deserve my time. And I'm sorry, if you're going to spend your prime real estate on your bio for me to like take 2 seconds a snapshot of who you are, and that's to tell me that you are him or her or whatever pronoun you identify with, whew, you've already lost me. When the census, because basically by you doing that, you've basically called me stupid. By you having to tell me that you are a he or her or him, you've essentially told me that I was stupid because I couldn't tell by looking at your name or looking at your account or who you are. Like I needed you to tell me what your pronoun was. Like I couldn't figure it out myself. That's diminishing my ability to have intelligence. And I don't like people who are assuming that I'm not smart or that I couldn't figure it out. That's just a bad no. That's my criteria. When the census of people come around asking more questions, I told them just to pick one, and that we really don't know what race I am without genetic testing. That's true. That's a good point there. I mean, we are in a melting pot, people. But I'm a purebred. You guys might all be mutts, but I'm a purebred. I'm from Laos. Long line gene of Laotians. I'm purebred. I always joke that John's a mutt. But he always says purebreds have more health problems. It's the mutts that are the healthiest. A lot of these new trends, such as pronouns, are coming out of schools. Parents have no idea how indoctrinated their kids are becoming. It's really scary. I think that's the part that's why I'm out here. That's why I'm out here talking about all this, is so that I can, my bigger audience, my bigger community is stay-at-home moms, because we're knitters and crocheters. I want them to know what their children are being taught, what their children are being, and they've not doing any, and they are it's really scary what's happening to our youth. But like I said, we don't protect, we don't value life at every stage. We're always going to struggle to value life at any stage. And if they are celebrating ending their own, then they don't care. They don't care, and they want to teach your children to not care either. I am not posting any pronouns in my bio. Luckily, I haven't had one crazy person come and tell me that I needed a pronoun. But then again, I doubt they're going to come after me because I tell them in my bio that Jesus is my BFF. And having Jesus be my BFF pretty much excludes a lot of people that are going to come after me. And if they do, when I engage with, hey Nancy, I just wanted to say hi to you. Pronouns in a bio tell me that they're not someone I want to follow. Exactly, because they basically called me stupid because I can't figure out if you're a boy or a girl. That's just ridiculous. And yes, there are only two sexes. What anything else is just man-made. And we know how man-made is. Nature versus man-made. Nature versus man-made. When every time when we engage with hard humans like this, I always remember. I always remember is that when Jesus said, "They will hate you because of me." So I'm pretty much ready for anything that comes after me in that way. They will hate you because of me. Planned Parenthood has a curriculum in public schools for groom. Get out. Get out of here. I did not know that. I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked. Why? Of course they would. Of course they would go after the youth because they want you to know, you know. And that's why it's so important that parents like teach kids to value their lives, you know. If they value their lives, they value each other's lives, they value, you know, then maybe they'll grow up to value more human lives. But they don't want, they want to teach kids that that white is bad, minorities are good, and then and white is not human, just like minority is not human. Everything is racist when you wear race goggles. Wearing race goggles forces you to be a racist. That's why they want you to do it. You know, that's why BLM wants you. It's a racist Marxist organization. They want everybody wearing their race goggles. Because when we wear race goggles, we all become racist. And the lie, the big lie, the big bad math lie is that when you're wearing race goggles, you know, only certain races are racism. Only certain race are racist. And not every race is a racist. That's a lie. When you judge a human by the color of their skin, you are a racist. That's the definition. That is the definition. When you judge a human by the color of their skin, you are a racist. I don't care what color you are. When you judge a human by the color of their skin, you are a racist. That's by definition what it is. Just like all is the most inclusive word in the English language. But right now we have those are, Planned Parenthood is the biggest white supremacist organization out there, and BLM, which is the dead opposite, is funding them billions of dollars. So they literally work together. They work together. The most white supremacist, and then the most white supremacist organization that kills more black babies in 1 week than the entire KKK does in their entire existence. And you got BLM donating billions of dollars to that white supremacist organization. And then they have the regular normal people like us arguing about our pronouns. It is just, we are in some cuckoo times, you guys. Listen. If you do not know Jesus Christ, please, I beg of you, find him. If you don't know Jesus Christ, find him. He's the only one that's going to get you out of this. All right, hour and 15 minutes. It's been fun. Next week is probably going to be a lot more fun because this week my goal is to somehow craft a beautiful post with the best meme I can from my Canva that will somehow express that, because you guys just like help me turn on the light bulb there. Planned Parenthood is the biggest white supremacist organization out there. And since we love our race goggles and Coca-Cola says we don't want to be white, being white is bad, maybe this is how I can finally get them to see how bad Planned Parenthood is. Because that is the most white supremacist organization out there right now. Jesus is the way, the truth, and the light. Amen. Amen. I'm going to end it right there. You guys, if you do not know Jesus, go find him. Because he is the way, the truth, and the light. Until next time, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Saturdays. God bless, guys. Oh, be sure to sign up for my email list just in case I get canceled by any one of these platforms because I'm not speaking their narrative. If you haven't realized, these people on their platforms, they hate, they love bad math and they hate good math. And so, since I'm always pointing out bad math, I'm looking to be canceled at any second. So join my email list, and then we won't lose touch. All right. Until next time, God bless. Like, subscribe, share, and see you next week. God bless. Bye.